Hi everyone. If you have been struggling with noise gates as an audio engineer, I'm about to show you a very simple way to understand what a noise gate does, what all those parameters mean, and how you can tweak them to get a very clean signal. Let's go.
All right, guys. So this is what we call a gate, and basically, a gate works exactly like the actual gates. Like the house gate, your church or estate gate, any kind of gate you can think about. A gate is a security measure that stops unwanted visitors from coming in. So today we're going to be using a snare track, and on our snare track, we have a lot of bleeds. All right, we have a lot of bleeds. So this is what it sounds like without a gate. So the snare track has a little bit of bleeds, cymbal bleeds. Um, yeah. All right. So, but the snare hit is very loud. So we're gonna be introducing a gate here, and this gate we're gonna tell it, gate. I do not want cymbal bleeds, tom bleeds to enter into my snare track. All right. I don't want it in my snare track. I want to get as much of my snare as possible. So the gate has something called the threshold. The threshold is the security man that you put at your gate. The threshold is the security measure that tells unwanted visitors to stay outside and those that are wanted to come in. So you set your threshold to the level of your snare hit. All right. So we have a snare hit here, and that's the threshold. Okay. And then the attack is basically how fast you want your gate to open up so that what you want comes in. All right, how fast you want it to open up so that what you want comes in and that nothing else comes in with it. All right, so how quickly you want it to come in, you want it to open up so that what you need enters and what you don't need does not enter with what you need. All right, your release basically here is saying how fast or how slow you want to close your gate back so that also unwanted sounds, unwanted things do not follow your sound in. So usually a fast attack is great, and a very minimal release is also great, because if your release is too slow, if your release is too slow, you get unwanted sounds coming in. All right, so a faster release as well is very great for your gates. Next, we have something called the hold. All right, the hold now is how long do you want the gate open for? How long do you want your gate to be open for when you have opened it? All right, and this, all of these three guys work together. Okay, and this hold basically is saying if you hold for too long, it's possible that what you don't want to enter will enter. Okay, it's very possible that what you don't want to enter will enter. And if you hold just at the right amount of time, you get only what you want to enter. So the attack, hold, and release, they all work together to ensure that your gate is working appropriately. Now, the reduction range is how much of those little sounds that can come in, that can quickly seep in, because sometimes it's inevitable for you to get those sounds coming in. So your reduction range is basically how low you want those sounds to be. All right, so you could take them off completely, and maybe because you just want a little bit of room, you want a little bit of ambience, you want a little bit of life, you could just reduce them a little bit. So that's the range. So this is very easy. It's very simple. It just helps you to get cleaner sound both in live and studio sound.